Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Today we are going to solve this question which says the fluid filled cavity called antrum is found in option A Graafian follicle, option B corpus luteum, option C brain, option D corpus albicans. So let us understand this question. It says the fluid filled cavity called antrum. So where can you see this term or hear this term antrum? Yes, you're right. Antrum is a cavity which is filled with fluid. Okay, it is as it is mentioned, it is fluid filled cavity present in the Graafian follicle. Okay, Graafian follicle. Now, what do you mean by Graafian follicle? What are these? Graafian follicles are nothing but the follicles which are formed during the process of oogenesis. Okay, during the production of oogenesis. Okay, so let us see. During the production of oogenesis in the ovary of the female, so initially there are cells which are called as oogonia. Okay, oogonia. These are present even before the birth of the baby. So you can say that oogenesis begins from even before the birth of the baby. Okay, once the ovaries are developed, the oogonial cells are also formed. The oogonia, these are the ones which are present in the diploid condition. They, each cell I'm talking about, the oogonial cell, even though they are diploid, what do? Like they try to multiply themselves in several, numbers, and they will give rise to oogonial cells, more number of oogonial cells. So first stage is multiplication. First stage is multiplication. Of course, multiplication in terms of numbers. So if you talk in terms of the cells, so they actually divide to multiply themselves. Okay, and further, so you get high number of oogonial cells or oogonial cells will get. Further, these oogonial cells enter into meiotic prophase 1 stage. Okay, that means they enter into meiotic division, and when they are in prophase 1 stage, they get arrested. Okay, they get arrested, and now this is happening. Now this is called as, now whatever is formed is called as the primary oocyte. Okay, so the cells which get arrested in the prophase 1 is called as a primary oocyte. Now, at this stage, the primary oocyte, they get surrounded by layers of granulosa cells. And at this condition, the primary oocytes, which are present within the layers of, enclosed by the layers of granulosa cells, this is called as a primary follicle. Primary follicle. Okay. Further, this follicle will mature to form secondary follicle. Secondary follicle. Okay, that means more number of granulosa cells will be added. Okay, so the thickness of the layer will increase. That is called as, those are called as secondary follicles. Further, secondary follicles will further transform into tertiary follicle. Tertiary follicle. Okay, where the primary oocyte will complete its meiotic division, and that will form the secondary oocytes. Secondary oocytes. And these secondary oocytes are haploid in nature because there is completion of the meiotic division. So these are haploid in nature. So let us talk about the follicles further. So these tertiary follicles, they further mature into something called as Graafian follicles. What? Graafian follicles. Now these are the Graafian follicles which contain the liquid filled cavity called as antrum. Okay, and these will produce hormones. Okay, they also secrete hormones, that is estrogen hormone it will produce. Okay, the main hormone produced by Graafian follicle is estrogen. Okay. Further, it will rupture, the Graafian follicle will rupture and release ovum. Okay, ovum it will release, and this will form corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. So these are the various stages how the ovarian cell get converted to primary follicle, then secondary follicle, then tertiary follicles, Graafian follicles where the antrum is present, and then you have the corpus luteum. So according to the question, it says the fluid filled cavity antrum is found in option A Graafian follicle. Yes, that is the correct answer. Option B is corpus luteum. No, because corpus luteum is formed after the rupturing of Graafian follicle, because during rupturing, antrum is released. Option C says brain. No, there is no cavity filled cavity which is present in brain called as antrum. Option D says corpus albicans, that is ruder, because corpus albicans are formed once corpus luteum gets degenerated. Okay, so the correct answer is option A. So let us conclude the answer. So what is the answer? The answer is option A. The answer is option A. So that is the correct answer. That is Graafian follicle, which consists of cavity filled with antrum. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.